Let's get on. Good evening. If I could get everybody to take a seat and have council step up here.
Can I sit up here even though I'm not sworn in, or do I get to sit up in the
I
office?
think you can sit here because we never swore you out, did we? We never swore you out, did we?
I don't know, I get sworn out so many times.
Sworn out.
Yeah.
Sworn out. I'm going to assume, I guess. I just wait, Matt. Will let us swear at you.
Chris? Yes. Do I need to go out there? Am I okay here, or do I need to go there?
We never swore him out. Good evening, everybody. It's good to see everybody here tonight. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome Chaplain Remco Bromett. He's our chaplain for our police and fire to lead us in invocation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and Happy New Year to all. Let's pray together. Almighty God, we give you the year 2012, and we are full of anticipation for good things. We ask tonight for a special blessing on the new council members as they take office, and for a sense of unity and vision for this new year with regards to the growth and the well-being of our city. We ask that you continue to protect us as citizens, that your hand would be on our police department and on our fire department as they protect and ensure the quality of life we enjoy. We are thankful for the blessings you have given us this far, and we look forward to your continued hand of grace upon us. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Milton City Council for Monday, January 9th, 2012 to order. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize a special guest. Senator John Albers is here somewhere. Thank you, John, for being here. We also want to thank, we've got Judge Brugink, I believe is how you pronounce it, is going to swear Matt Coots in, and then we've also got Judge Schaefer here, so I want to thank him for being here. And so with that, I'll start with the administration of the oath to our elected officials. If Judge Brugink will administer the oath to Councilman-elect Matt Coots.
I do solemnly swear and affirm that I, Matt Kuntz, will faithfully perform the duties of councilman of this city, and that I will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution and the laws of the state of Georgia and of the United States of America. Congratulations.
And Matt, if you would like to join us up here. Okay. Next, if we could have Judge Schaefer administer the oath of elect council member Bert Hewitt.
Where shall I get?
That's a crew there.
Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear and affirm
I do solemnly swear and affirm
that I, Clyde Burton Hewitt IV,
that I, Clyde Burton Hewitt IV,
will faithfully perform the duties
will faithfully perform the duties of
a council member of this city, and that I will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution and the laws of the state of Georgia and of the United States of America. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
She knows all that extra time her dad's going to spend on city council. And now if Lance would step forward and we'll let Judge Schaefer administer the oath.
Just for the occasion. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear and affirm that I, Lance Large, will faithfully perform the duties of a council member of this city, and that I will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution and the laws of the state of Georgia and of the United States of America.
Thank you.
And before we move on, I'd like to ask the entire council to step forward, and as well as any family that would like to be in a picture.
I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to do 3 of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. That's all right. Yeah. Again, I want to just thank everybody for being here. It's nice to look out and see the room full, and I don't believe we even have a contentious zoning agenda tonight. So appreciate you being here. We're excited to have Matt and Lance on board with us, and look forward to a great 2012 and beyond. So thank you, guys. If the city clerk will please call roll and make general announcements right now.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'll be happy to call roll for the January 9th, 2012 regular meeting. I would like to remind those in attendance to please silence all cell phones at this time. Additionally, those attending the meeting who would like to provide public comment either during the public hearing or during the call for public comment, you are required to complete a public comment card prior to speaking on an item. There is no public comment for consent agenda items or items under first presentation. Those called to speak will be taken in the order that the speaker cards were received by the city clerk prior to the beginning of tonight's meeting. All speakers will identify themselves by name, address, and organization if applicable. The City Council may allow public comment on either an agenda item or general public comment from a representative of such an organized group or association, provided that such an individual shall file a notarized affidavit that they have the authority to speak on behalf of said organization on a form provided by the city clerk prior to the agenda item being called. Demonstration of any sort within this chamber is prohibited, so please refrain from any applause, cheering, booing, outbursts, or dialogue with any person speaking. Please show the same respect to the person speaking that you will expect to receive yourself. Anyone in violation will be asked to leave. As I call roll, please confirm your attendance. Mayor Joe Lockwood.
Here.
Councilmember Karen Thurman.
Here.
Councilmember Matt Kuntz.
Here.
Councilmember Bill Lusk.
Here.
Councilmember Bert Hewitt.
Here.
Councilmember Joe Longoria.
Here.
Councilmember Lance Large.
Here.
Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, will City Clerk please sound the next item?
Our next item is approval of meeting agenda. This is agenda item number 12001.
Okay. Before I ask for any other items to be considered, I'd like to ask if the council's pleasure to move our new business with our swearing in of our committee members up to the front of our agenda. And if is there any other items to be considered?
Mr. Mayor, yes, I'd, in the spirit of a meeting that makes sense, if we move new business items 1 through 5, right before unfinished business, that would be helpful. Also, I need to add executive session to discuss litigation.
Okay. Is there any other items? If not, do I have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I'll move to approve the agenda as modified, and including an executive session to discuss pending litigation.
I'll second it.
Okay. Got a motion by Councilmember Luss, second by Councilmember Thurman. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. City Clerk, do we have any public comment?
Yes, sir, we do have one.
Okay. Next item is going to be public comment. Public comment is a time for citizens to share information with the mayor and city council and to provide input and opinions on any matter that is not scheduled for its own public hearing during today's meeting. There's no discussion on items on the consent agenda or first presentation from the public or from council. Each citizen who chooses to participate in the public comment must complete a comment card and submit it to the city clerk. Please remember this is not a time to engage the mayor or members of the city council in conversation. When your name is called, please come forward and speak into the microphone stating your name and address for the record. You'll have 5 minutes for remarks. Do we have any public comment?
Yes, sir, we do have Mr. Mark Reed.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Mark Reed, 14240 Phillips Circle, and Chairman of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board. And we met last week and we voted on a resolution which we would like to read to you tonight. The Parks and Recreation Advisory Board for the City of Milton do hereby make the following resolution. Whereas the members held a meeting on January 5th, 2012, at which a quorum was present. Whereas it was unanimously passed by motion made by Mark Reed and seconded by Kathy Cook that it is in the best interest of the residents of the City of Milton that a resolution be presented to the Council of the City of Milton setting forth the concern of the Board regarding priority of capital commitment by the Council for the development of parks and recreation. Now therefore resolved that the Board believes the development of parks and recreation for the residents of the City of Milton is of utmost importance and enhances the value of residents in the City of Milton, and anticipates that the Council will make such development a priority in making allocations of capital from available funds on an ongoing basis. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more public comment?
That's all, sir.
Okay, thank you. We can move on to the consent agenda. City Clerk, please sound those items.
Our first item is approval of the December 19th, 2011 regular council minutes, agenda item number 12002. Next, approval of financial statements for the period ending June 2011, agenda item number 12003. Third, we have approval of financial statements for the period ending July 2011, agenda item number 12004. Next, approval of a task order with Stantec Consulting Services, Inc. for design for State Route 372 Crabapple intersection improvements. This is agenda item number 12005. Approval of a construction services agreement between Martin Robbins Fence Company, Inc. and the City of Milton for guardrail replacement on Hopewell Road. Agenda item number 12006. Our next item is approval of a memorandum of agreement between the Fulton County Soil and Water Conservation District and the City of Milton of Fulton County, Georgia. Agenda item number 12007. Next, approval of a professional services agreement between Davenport and Company, LLC, and the City of Milton for the purpose of providing financial advisory services. This is agenda item number 12008. Our final consent agenda item this evening is approval of a first amendment to the Granicus Services Agreement between Granicus, Inc. and the City of Milton, Georgia. Agenda item number 12009.
Okay, do I have a motion and a second?
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as read.
I'll second it.
Okay, I've got a motion by Councilmember Thurman, second by Councilmember Hewitt. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Okay, we're going to move on to our first presentation. Will the City Clerk please sound the item?
Our first item is approval of the adoption of an ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Milton, Georgia, to amend Chapter 2, Administration, Article 6, Financial Management Program of the City of Milton Code of Ordinances to include Division 13, Fund Balance Policy. Agenda item number 12010. Our next first presentation item is RZ 1119, VC 115, 15260 Hopewell Road, applicant Reunion Park. A request to rezone from AG1 Agricultural to C1 Community Business and AG1 Agricultural for an existing 1,180 square foot building for general retail uses and an existing 1,835 square foot single-family residence to remain with the following four-part concurrent variance. First, to reduce the 50-foot undisturbed buffer and 10-foot improvement setback to a 10-foot landscape strip along the south zoning line of Parcel 1 intersecting with Hopewell Road and running north 68 degrees, 21 minutes, 12 seconds west, a distance of 89.69 feet, Section 64114113A. Second, to reduce the 50-foot buffer and 10-foot improvement setback to a minimum 40-foot buffer along the south zoning line of Parcel 1, parallel to Thompson Road, running from the corner of an existing driveway north 80 degrees, 44 minutes, 27 seconds west, 190.43 feet to the westerly 10-foot improvement setback line, Section 64114113A. Third, to delete the 50-foot buffer and 10-foot improvement setback along the southwest zoning line of Parcel 1, running from Hopewell Road north 68 degrees, 10 minutes, 12 seconds west, 89.69 feet, and north 21 degrees, 34 minutes, 48 seconds west, 35.46 feet to the northerly line of an existing driveway for Parcel 2, Section 64114113A. Fourth, to reduce the 25-foot setback for parking adjacent to residentially used property to 10 feet along the south zoning line, Section 641433F1. This is agenda item number 12011. Our third and final first presentation item is RZ 1117, to amend Article 16 of the zoning ordinance, Chapter 64 of the City Code, signs. This is agenda item number 12012.
Okay. Do I have a motion and second on the first presentation items for approval?
So moved. Second.
I've got a motion by Councilmember Longoria, second by Councilmember Hewitt. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Okay, there's no items under public hearing or zoning agenda, and based on our change to our agenda tonight, we're going to move the new business items number 1 through 5 next, and then after we do that and swear in our volunteers, our committee members, going to take just a few minutes, and we've got some refreshments here, so ask that everybody here enjoy that. So we will move on to our new business, item number 1. If our city clerk will please.
Our first item is approval of a resolution amending Resolution Number 1106177, a resolution appointing or reappointing members for Districts 2, 4, and 6 to the City of Milton Board of Zoning Appeals. Agenda item number 12013. Mayor Joe Lockwood.
Okay. We'll take this each separately, District 2, 4, and 6, and if each council member will just take just a couple seconds and introduce their candidate, and then we will move forward with approval. District 2 for Matt, if you would like to introduce Chris Bloor.
Right here?
Yeah.
For the Board of Zoning Appeals, I would like to introduce everybody to Mr. Christopher Bloor. He and his family are 13-year residents of Milton and having a background in both residential and commercial real estate with a tremendous amount of knowledge in contract law. Chris will be a great asset to the Zoning Appeals Board. For most of the last decade, Christopher has bought, sold, and rehabbed hundreds of homes in the metro Atlanta area. This experience allowed Christopher to understand zoning and how the laws affect decisions relating to both residential and commercial properties. In addition, Christopher has worked in the technology field where he was responsible for 26 attorneys that dealt with contractual matters as well as litigation. Chris's wife is a local family dentist, and his children all attend Milton schools. So I'd like to welcome Christopher Bloor to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay. And with this Matt's nomination, is there any council discussion before we vote on this? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. And what we'll do after...
Just get a motion in a second.
Okay. All right. And what we'll do after this is we'll wait till all have been approved, and then I'll swear them in at one time. So, but if I have a motion, I have a motion for Mr. Bloor.
I move
Point
to
of order. Are we going to approve the same item 3 times, or should we talk about all 3 and then approve it once?
I think we have to vote individually.
I would like to vote individually.
Okay.
On those.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, do I make a motion?
If you can make a motion, that'd be great.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make the motion to approve Mr. Christopher Bloor as the District 2 Board of Zoning Appeals.
second the motion.
Okay. Got a motion from Councilmember Kutz and second by Councilmember Lusk. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. That's unanimous. Okay. If we next we'll have Councilmember Burt Hewitt and nominate your District 4 appointee.
I would like to reappoint Todd Chernick to the Board of Zoning Appeals. He's served graciously for the past 5 years, and look forward to him serving for 4 more. Thank you.
Okay. Do I have a motion and a second?
I'll make a motion that we approve Todd Chernick for the Board of Zoning Appeals. District 4.
Okay. Got a motion by Councilmember Thurman, second by Councilmember Large. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. That's unanimous. So next, if Councilmember Large will nominate his District 6 appointee.
Okay. I wish to appoint, it's actually a reappointment, of Rita Young to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Rita is the Director of Public Policy and Education at All About Development Disabilities, where she provides leadership and management and administration in developing organizational capacities to identify advocacy and policy approaches to the improvement and services of people with development disabilities. Rita's a Milton resident, has been part of the BZA in the past, and she has been part of the Milton Strategic Planning Team that recently did the strategic plan for the city, and is a member of the North Point Community Church. I'd like to welcome Rita back to the board.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion and a second?
Mayor, I'd like to put forward a motion to accept Rita Young as District 6 representative to the BZA.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Got a motion by Councilmember Longoria, second by Councilmember Hewitt. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's That's unanimous. So at this point, if I could have Mr. Bloor, Mr. Chernick, and Ms. Young step forward, I will administer the oath. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear and affirm that I will faithfully perform the duties of Board of Zoning Appeals member of the city, and I will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution and the laws of the state of Georgia and of the United States of America. Now, I'll wait till we're through, but I will give a special thanks to all of our volunteers and committee members. That's what makes the city tick, so we appreciate that. Okay, will the city clerk please sound the next item?
Next item is approval of a resolution amending resolution number 11-196, a resolution appointing or reappointing members for districts 2, 4, and 6 to the City of Milton Design Review Board.
Okay, we'll start out with District 2, and if Councilmember Kuntz will nominate his district appointee.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, for the Design Review Board, I'd like to nominate Perry Mason. Perry Mason is a technology sales and business development professional that has worked for multi-billion-dollar corporations as well as venture capital-backed Silicon Valley-based startup companies. He also recently spent 4 years in the commercial real estate industry, working on projects in Milton, Alpharetta, and Madison, Mississippi, but in Milton, especially in Crabapple. Perry was educated at the University of Georgia, where he earned a Bachelor of Science degree at Computer Science. He is active in Technology and Association of Georgia, Atlanta Telecom Association, and the Society of Cable Telecom Engineers. Perry supports the resurrection of Milton County and wants to help position the city of Milton for that eventuality. Perry has lived in the Alpharetta-Milton area for over 23 years. He coaches basketball in the Up With Kids Milton City League. He and his wife Ruby have 9-year-old twins, both Luke and Rachel, that are involved in basketball, baseball, volleyball, scouting, and American Heritage Girls. The Mason family worships and serves at Alpharetta First United Methodist Church. And Mr. Mayo, I would like to make a motion to appoint Perry Mason to the Design Review Board.
I'll second it.
I've got a motion from Councilmember Kuntz and a second by Councilmember Thurman. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. And if we would move on to Councilmember Burt Hewitt, District 4 nominee.
I would like to reappoint Carl Hayes to the Design Review Board. Carl has served on this board for the last few months, and prior to that, he served on a stint with the Ethics Board. So Carl Hayes is my nomination for Design Review Board.
Okay. I'll open up for a motion and a second.
Mayor, I'd like to approve the nomination of Carl Hayes as District 4 representative to the Design Review Board.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. I have a motion for approval from Councilmember Longoria, a second by Councilmember Lusk. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. And next, I will ask Councilmember Large to nominate his.
Okay. Thanks. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint, and actually it's a reappointment, of Tim Bryan to the Design Review Board. Tim has been a Milton business owner for over 8 years, has lived in the area since 1985. He owns Bryan Residential Planning Company and is an award-winning residential design firm specializing in all styles and types of homes, with over 1,000 homes built under his design. His business is located on Mayfield Road in Crabapple. He's been serving on the DRB, and I jokingly say, even though he's a graduate of the University of Tennessee, I can overlook that since I find him to be a very talented design professional, very fitting for the position. Also, in the category of small world, Tim recently completed his very first Virginia Beach home design, which will be built in a prestigious community adjacent to the high school I attended. And I used to run through cross-country track team way back in the day when I was in much better shape. So I'd like to welcome Tim back to the Design Review Board.
Okay, now I'll open up for a motion for approval for Mr. Bryan.
I'll move to approve Mr. Tim Bryan to District 4 Design Review Board.
Six.
District 6.
6. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
All right.
I'll second that motion.
All right, got a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. That's unanimous. So at this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Mason, Mr. Haas, and Mr. Bryan to step forward. Also, as soon as I'm finished, Ms. Rita Young is here, so fortunately, you were unanimously approved, and I'd like to ask you to come up, and I'll swear you in just after I do these.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Better share your L's.
You guys would raise your right hand and repeat after me. I solemnly swear and affirm.
I solemnly swear and affirm
That I
that I, Gary Mason,
will faithfully perform the duties of
will faithfully perform the duties of
the Design Review Board member
a Design Review Board member
of the city,
of the city,
and that I will support and defend the charter thereof,
and I will support and defend the charter thereof,
as well as the Constitution,
as well as the Constitution,
the laws of the state of Georgia,
and the laws of the state of Georgia,
and of the United States of America.
and the United States of America.
Congratulations. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear and affirm
I do solemnly swear and affirm
that I
that I, Rita Young,
will faithfully perform the duties of
will faithfully perform the duties of
a Board of Zoning Appeals member
Board of Zoning Appeals member
of the city,
of the city,
and that I will support and defend the charter thereof,
that I will support and defend the charter thereof,
as well as the Constitution,
as well as the
the
Constitution,
laws of the state of Georgia,
the laws of the state of Georgia,
and of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America.
Thank you. Okay, will the city clerk please sound the next item?
Our next item is approval of a resolution, amending resolution number 11-04174, resolution appointing or reappointing members for Districts 2, 4, and 6 to the City of Milton Historic Preservation Commission. This is agenda item number 12015.
Okay, Councilmember Kuntz will nominate his appointee.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint Mrs. Pam Gillig to the Historic Preservation Commission. Pam Gillig has been a resident of the North Fulton County area and living in the city of Milton for approximately 16 years. Pam, her husband Chris, and their 3 boys moved to the area from Dallas, Texas in November of '95. Pam has held various volunteer positions throughout the years, especially in school and church and as far as in town. In 2005, Pam became a real estate agent, joining Harry Norman Realtors, and Pam has been very successful in her real estate career and is a proven performer for the firm, finished ranking number 2 in the North Fulton office in 2011 with personal sales of over $13 million. Pam is very interested in seeing the city of Milton grow and develop into a community we can all be proud of without Milton losing its rural character and charm. So I would like to appoint Mrs. Pam Gillig to the Historical Preservation Commission.
Second the motion.
I'd like to make a motion
Make a motion?
to approve Pam Gillig to the Historical Preservation Commission.
Okay. Well, Bill, you have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, you have a motion by Councilmember Kuntz, second by Councilmember Luss for the nomination of Pam Gillig. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. That's unanimous. All right, next I will move to Councilmember Hewitt for his appointee.
I would like to reappoint Ken Sisson to the Historic Preservation Commission. Ken's a graduate of Auburn University and has been serving for the last year, so Ken Sisson's my appointment.
Okay, do I have a motion and a second?
I'll make a motion that we appoint Ken Sisson, District 4, to the Historic Preservation Commission.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Thurman, second by Councilmember Kuntz. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. That's unanimous. So we'll move on to District 6 with Councilmember Large.
Okay. New. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint Allison Burns to the Historic Preservation Commission. Alice and her husband moved to Milton with their 3 children, who were 21, 20, and 17, 16 years ago. They lived in White Columns for 13 years, then moved to a 9-acre little ranch house on Freemanville Road in 2007. She's had several businesses, ventures, since living here, and currently owns House and Home Estate Sales, LLC. Past volunteer positions include the Crabapple Development Committee and the Birmingham Crossroads Community Advisory Board. She and her husband love living in Milton and are very invested in maintaining the city's rural charm while balancing it with sound residential and business development. She's looking forward to working with the Historic Preservation Committee and hopes to contribute to the continued improvement of our city. So I'd like to move that we approve Allison Burns as a appointee to the Historic Preservation Commission.
Second.
Okay. I have a motion by Councilmember Large, second by Councilmember Longoria. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. So at this point, if I could have Ms. Gillig, Mr. Sisson, and Ms. Burns step forward, we'll administer their oath.
Allison's good friend, Pam.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear and affirm
I do solemnly swear and affirm
that I
that I, Allison Burns,
will faithfully perform the duties of
will faithfully perform the duties of
a Historic Preservation Committee member
Historic Preservation Committee member
of the city,
of the city,
and that I will support and defend the charter thereof,
and I will support and defend the charter thereof,
as well as the Constitution
as well as the Constitution
and the laws of the state of Georgia
and the laws of the state of Georgia
and of the United States of America.
and the United States of America.
Okay, if the city clerk will please send the next item.
Next item is approval of a resolution amending Resolution Number 11-03173, a resolution appointing or reappointing members for Districts 2, 4, and 6 to the City of Milton Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. This is agenda item number 12-016. Mayor Joe Lockwood.
Okay, I'll start with Councilmember Kuntz and his appointee, if you'd like to introduce them.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint Mr. David Dooley to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Dave is a 38-year resident of Alpharetta and now Milton, and graduated from Milton High School. He's been a former police officer here in Alpharetta, and during that time, he helped start the Alpharetta Youth Football Program in the early 1980s, which I myself coached there for 6 years. So thanks, Dave, for starting that. He started the Milton Youth Football Program, and he also started the Kings Ridge Christian School Youth and High School Football Programs, and had been a coach for over 22 years. Currently owns a money management firm, the Georgia Advisory Group, and a media network company, Comcaddy Network, here on Windward Parkway. He's been married to his wife, Tammy, of 28 years, and has 2 children, both 16 and 13. So I'd like to make a motion to appoint Mr. Dave Dooley to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board Committee.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, I've got a motion from Councilmember Kuntz, and I'm going to say a second from Councilmember Thurman. Sounded like. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. All right, if we can move to District 4, Councilmember Hewitt.
I'd like to reappoint Wallace Britton to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Wallace has served on the committee for the past year or so and is retired from the National Park Service as an administrator. Thank you.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve Wallace.
I'll move to accept the appointment of Mr. Wallace Britton to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, District 4.
I second that.
Okay, got a motion from Councilmember Luss, second from Councilmember Longoria. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. So then I will move to District 6 and ask Councilmember Large for his appointee.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint, and it's actually a reappointment, of Ronald Hill to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Coach Hill, as he goes by, and Councilman Kuntz should be all for this. He's Assistant Athletic Director and Director of Student Life at the Atlanta Sports Academy in Dawsonville, Georgia. He has 25 years of football coaching experience, has coached high school and professional football, and has also served in the military. Ron moved to Milton from his hometown of Virginia Beach, or from Virginia Beach in 2005, and at that time actually lived less than 1 mile from where I lived at that time. So, small world. He's also coached at a Norfolk area high school in a newly renovated sports facility on which I was part of the design team. Ron has been serving on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, and he's a fine gentleman. So, welcome, Ron.
Okay, I could have a motion and a second.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Mr. Ronald Hill to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board.
And I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion by Councilmember Kuntz and a second by Councilmember Large. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. So at this point, if Mr. Dooley, Mr. Britton, and Mr. Hill will step forward, I'll read their oaths. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear and affirm that I will faithfully perform the duties of a Parks and Recreation Advisory Board member of the city, and that I will support and defend the charter thereof, as well as the Constitution
the laws of the Constitution
and the laws of the state of Georgia
and the laws of the state of Georgia
and of the United States of
and of
America.
the United States of America.
Thank you, sir.
The city clerk will please call our next item.
Next item is approval of a resolution amending Resolution Number 10-01127, a resolution appointing or reappointing members for Districts 2, 4, and 6 to the City of Milton Planning Commission. This is agenda item number 12017. Mayor Joe Lockwood.
Okay. I'll start with Councilmember Kuntz for District 2.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to, for the Planning Commission, appoint my friend and neighbor, Mr. Mark Bittner. Mr. Bittner had moved to the area in 1996, working there for the CIT group for 15 years. He was in charge of the asset management departments. They did repossessions and remarketing, litigation and lease and negotiations and renewals. He helped start Bulldog Truck and Equipment Sales in 2007, and I've been very impressed with their ability as a business to invent themselves in changing economic climates. They're an asset management company that repossesses and remarkets equipment for banks and leasing companies. Mr. Bittner was on the Sable Point HOA for 8 years and was president for 4 years. He coached soccer and basketball for Alpharetta for 7 years and worked with Alpharetta in starting up the Ambush Soccer program. He lives down the street from me, and he's going to be a great addition to the Planning Commission. I'm very excited to have Mark Bittner on it.
Okay. I'd open up for a motion in a second.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to appoint Mr. Mark Bittner to the Planning Commission.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion, Councilmember Kuntz, and a second by Councilmember Thurman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. I'll move next to District 4, Councilmember Hewitt.
I'd like to reappoint Fred Edwards to the Planning Commission. Fred served on the commission for the past 5 years and has done a great job.
Okay. I'll open up for a motion in a
I'd like to
second.
move that we approve the appointment of Fred Edwards to the Planning Commission.
I'll second it.
Okay. We have a motion by Councilmember Large, second by Councilmember Thurman. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. Now I'll move over to Councilmember Large and ask for his District 6 appointment.
Okay. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to appoint Gariel Burchett to the Planning Commission. Gariel is a neighbor of mine and a friend. Gariel was enlisted in the Army from 1964 to 1968. He worked for the U.S. Post Office after coming out of the Army. And then he entered college and was a graduate of George Mason University near Washington, D.C. in 1978 with a B.S. degree in accounting with a minor in economics. He worked in private industry from 1978 to 1986 as accounting, advancing to management position as controller. And then he entered public service as a financial regulator for the Department of Treasury in 1986. It's always good to have a friend who worked for the Department of Treasury. He advanced to the position of international regulator, working with foreign regulators on international financial matters. Gariel retired in 2009 after 32 years of public service. Gariel and his wife Sue are longtime residents of Milton, and as I said, live right across the street from me in the Belterre neighborhood. And in over 4 years I've known Gariel, I found him to be a sensible and methodical individual who should be an asset on the Planning Commission. So I'd like to move that we approve Gariel Burchett as a member of the
Second
Planning
motion.
Commission.
All right. I have a motion by Councilmember Large, second by Councilmember Lusk. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. So if I could ask Mr. Bittner, Edwards, and Burkett to step forward. Repeat after me. I do solemnly swear and affirm
I do solemnly swear and affirm
that I
that I, Fred Edwards,
will faithfully perform the duties of
will faithfully perform the duties of
a planning commission member
a planning commission member
of the city,
of the city,
and that I will support and defend the charter thereof,
and I will support and defend the charter thereof,
as well as the Constitution
as well as the Constitution
and the laws of the state of Georgia
and the laws of the state of Georgia
and of the United States.
and of the United States.
Got that done.
All right, will the city clerk please sound the next item?
The next item is approval of a resolution establishing issues to be reviewed.
You know,
Do we want to stop that?
Yeah,
Break?
we'll stop right. What we'll do right now is take a 15-minute recess, and we've got refreshments out, and we'll just celebrate our new members of council here and our volunteer and appointees. So we'll take a few minutes and get a refreshment.
Did I do all that right? Did I do all that right? I didn't break the rules of order? All right.
Everybody would have a seat. We'll get back to our meeting.
Your wife must have one of those gavels at home, Lance. You sure jumped when you heard it.
All right, Chris, we want to go back to unfinished business or finish up. Yeah, I think that's the way. We did 1 through 5. Okay. Okay, the city clerk, we're going to move back to unfinished business, item number 10. So if you would.
Our unfinished business item is approval of an ordinance to amend Chapter 2, Article 6, Division 11, Purchasing Policy, Section 2621, agenda item number 11283. This was heard in first presentation on December 19th, 2011. Chris Lagerblum.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, this amendment is simply designed, I think, to clear up an ordinance and have it mean what we thought it probably should have meant in the first place. It's a section in our purchasing policies that deals with how we procure professional services, and as you might recall, we had some language in there that dealt with a dollar figure as well as a certain level of education and a state certification to something. As we've been working through this, we've recognized that in practice, there are some certifications that just don't exist on the state level and in fact exist on a national level. Thinking that a larger certification than a state level probably matches the spirit in which this was initially intended. You'll see that that's the modification that's requested in the Section 1 on this ordinance that you all have in front of you tonight, which is an ordinance that was provided by Ken's office. You'll also see on page 1 of that ordinance there's some items highlighted in yellow that is simply cleanup, and if you have any questions, Ken can discuss that. He said, well, we had this open, we might as well get a couple of these things cleaned up anyway. The first paragraph on page 2 is one that we recommend removal of. That paragraph was required when we had CH2M Hill here as a contractor. Again, in the spirit of if we're going to open this up and there needs to be amendments, we might as well clean it up while we're in here. And then you can see in that third paragraph the only words that are added are or national authorizing entity, and that is just to give some further latitude when in fact there's professional services that are provided that don't have a state level certification. Ken and I are both happy to answer any questions.
Okay, do we have any questions for either Ken or Chris? Okay. Now I'll open up the floor for a motion if we don't have any questions.
Mr. Mayor, I'll move to approve agenda item number 11283, approval of an ordinance to amend Chapter 2, Article 6, Division 11, Purchasing Policies, Section 2-621.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, I've got a motion by Councilmember Lusk and a second by Councilmember Hewitt. Do we have any discussion?
Mr. Mayor, just for purposes of the record, I want the record to reflect that the version that Chris went over and the version that you all are approving is the one with the yellow highlights. So that's clear. It's not what's in your agenda packet. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Okay, we'll move into new business with, I believe, items number 6.
Item number 6 is approval of a resolution establishing issues to be reviewed by the City of Milton Charter Commission. This is agenda item number 12018. This was discussed at December 12, 2011 work session. Mr. Chris Lagerblum.
Mayor and Council, in follow-up to the December work session where you all were presented with the presentation that's included in your packet dealing with the Charter Commission that is set to commence meeting this Wednesday. So they're actually kicking off this week after your direction, hopefully, of tonight. The items that we might encourage them to at least look at as they deliberate over the next 6 months and make a recommendation to the General Assembly. Keeping in mind that if you adopt this resolution tonight, they certainly retain the full latitude to look into the Charter beyond this, or to not consider any of these things that you might even ask them to consider tonight. This is just simply one of those things that we thought that was a good step to take in that we live and deal with this Charter on a daily basis. Who better than to at least provide some suggestions to them to make sure that things aren't overlooked or left out. What this resolution seeks to do is to capture the presentation that was made at the work session in December. It also seeks to remove the one item out of the presentation that you all did not seem to have agreement on to have the Charter Commission look at, which was the number of days it might take to pass an ordinance, if you remember that discussion. There is also, I want to make reference to the fact that at the end of that meeting, there were a couple of items thrown out to be discussed at the Charter Commission as well. I'd like to capture those potentially into the record tonight. I do have them as notes, and we'll bring them to the Charter Commission's attention on Wednesday. They're not captured in this resolution because what's captured here is the presentation. But the two items that were brought up that I have notes about, one was brought up by Councilmember Thurman, and the other one I don't recall who brought it up. It might have been Councilmember Longoria, dealing, number one, with the section that speaks to retirement.
Right.
The other section which speaks to whether or not there would be a judge removed for cause or not. And to have the threshold, excuse me, to have the threshold be that the judge had to be removed for cause might not allow the council the full authority and latitude that they want to be able to put the right judge in place. So I want to capture those two and let you know that as an ex officio member of this board that will be meeting with these members on Wednesday, I will bring those up. If you would like to officially capture those in the resolution that's presented to you tonight, as opposed to me just putting them in the record, if the maker of the motion would just include the language that I just brought up, adding those two items, we would modify the resolution before it's signed and adopted.
Okay. Councilmember Hewitt?
Another thing that was brought up, and I don't know if it's captured in there if we need to, is perhaps looking at the commission setting another date to
You're right.
review the commission X years down the road.
Councilmember, you're absolutely right.
And I know we discussed it. Are we thinking another 5 years or further out?
I don't know if it really went into that much detail.
I think it was brought up just to discuss whether or not this should be a continually meeting
commission
body on some time schedule.
Okay. Okay. Good. You have anything? Anybody? Okay. All right. If
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm fine with having those other items just included as part of the notes that we pass on. They don't have to be part of anything we approve.
Okay. Perfect. I'll be happy to. Ken and I will both be at that meeting, so certainly between the two of us, we can remember.
With that, I would like to make a motion for the approval of a resolution establishing issues to be reviewed by the City of Milton Charter Commission, agenda item 12018.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right. Got a motion by Councilmember Hewitt and a second by Councilmember Thurman. Any discussion, council? All right. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Okay. Have we left anything out in business? Any new old business?
That should
I think we
complete
came
the
back.
agenda other than reports.
Okay. We'll move on to staff reports before we go into executive session.
The first, really just one tonight because we're paying for two lawyers tonight to be in the room, so I want to get into executive session here pretty quick.
Where's the other lawyer?
Do what?
Where's the other lawyer?
I do want to let you know that just to moving forward with the voter registration initiative that Fulton County has this week, and the mayor will probably talk to you more about it at the next meeting, but we're sending 7 of our staff members to become deputy voter registrars this week. And that will be so that as the mayors through the North Fulton Municipal Association push forward a voting initiative this spring, that we are capable and prepared here at the staff level to register people to vote if they happen to come to City Hall. So that's on tap this week. And I'll discuss more at the next work session, but that's all I have for tonight.
Okay. Well, then, as we moved in our agenda to add an executive session, do I have a motion and a second to adjourn into executive session to discuss litigation?
I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion by Councilmember Large, second by Councilmember Hewitt. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. So we will step into executive session for just the next few minutes. reconvene. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, got a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
You got something you wanted to say, Chris, or, oh, you're just standing at the podium?
standing there.
Important.
Just to see how it feels.
Yeah.
He's ready to go to the game. Watch the game.
Very good.
Me too. Okay.
Thank you.
My wife just texted me, don't forget about the game.
What game?
What?